All right, so we're live. Good evening, Monique,
Hello.
Diana, my
Hello.
favorites,
Damn.
because y'all always here. So, we just for anyone who might be watching or joining later, we jumped back into our typical genre, which is inspirational fiction. And this month we read The Archer by Paulo Coelho. I hope I said that right. This was kind of like a fable allegory type of book. It was a very short read, but I think overall it was pretty inspiring. Um, so before we get into it, I'm just curious, what did you guys think overall rating on the book? For me, I gave it a 4 on Goodreads just because I wish it were longer. And I feel like I wanted more of a backstory of the main characters.
I would agree. I gave it a 3 star. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I mean, I didn't really. I got the concept of the story, but nothing like wowed me. Um, but I got it. So overall, I gave it a 3 star.
Yeah, and I gave it a 3 star as well. I think more not because of the story, but the lack of story, right? Like it should have,
Mm-hmm.
you just wanted, yeah, it was just too short. But
Mm-hmm.
but then again, there are other short books that give you a full story.
Right.
So I think that is, yeah. I think he didn't go enough into the backstory.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, I mean, so for what we got, I think it was okay. It was
Mm-hmm.
okay. But that's really what made it a 3 star for me. Is just there wasn't enough story.
Sorry, the boyfriend's being silly. He had to distract me. I said, leave me
The
alone.
what?
My boyfriend.
Oh,
He
is
was like, hi.
he giving you faces?
Yeah, he's just peeking in. So, all right. So the next question. Um, so I'm with you guys. Like I liked the book. So the prologue, like I was kind of confused when I read the prologue initially because it just started off with Tetsuya, and I'm like, who? Wait, what's going on? Like that's the first word, and so they go immediately into the story. Like I had to go back and read the prologue again to understand the main characters because I'm like, is the little boy the man who's challenging him? Like I was all confused, so I literally had to reread it.
Yeah,
That
and
was one of the main. Yeah.
yeah, to me, I felt like there really wasn't a main character. The main character is archery,
Yeah.
right? And the main character was all of. There
Right.
wasn't really a main character. The main character is the
Mm-hmm.
sport and how he was using it as a, what do they call it, allegory, or I don't know how they,
Fable.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was like
yeah,
a fable.
a fable, yeah. Because
Or
I don't
fable.
think
Yeah.
that we knew enough about the
Yep.
two characters to really say that they were the main parts of the book.
Yeah. You know what it felt like reading it kind of? It felt like reading Psalms, the book of Psalms in the Bible. It was just bits and pieces of like
Mm.
good quotes
Uh,
and stuff, but
not
not,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would say more of Proverbs.
Or Proverbs, that's what I meant.
Yes, a
Yeah.
lot of good like little
Yeah.
little nuggets of,
Yeah.
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 Okay, yeah, I'm with you guys. And that's why I love these kinds of books, but it was just not up there with like the types of books that I've read in this inspirational fiction genre because of that, just the lacking of it. Um,
Yeah.
but one of the unique things I think for this one was the use of pictures, which I feel like set it apart from any book I've read in my adult life. Monique, I think you've probably read books. I don't want to say like not. Have you read comic books or any books with pictures? Like either of you? This is the first one
I've
I've
read
read.
like graphic novels. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I
this
actually
is the first
I
one for
like
me.
the artwork in it. It was actually really simple but really pretty. But
See,
I
Yeah.
haven't read like a picture book. Like I haven't read like a book that has pictures like this. And if I was going to read a book with pictures, it would be like a graphic novel, like a comic book or something like that. This is the first book that I've read in my adult life, actually, that has like pictures with the story.
Yeah. And since I read it on the Kindle, the pictures don't,
do it justice.
It doesn't, yeah, the pictures don't come through the same way. So it does it. Yeah, it's hard for me to comment on the pictures. No, because a Kindle is just black and white. I mean, I could show you. I mean, you could see that. I could show you one of them. I mean, they come through, but to me, they don't. Let me see if I can find one. Like,
am I frozen?
There's one. So, like, you see how it looks on the Kindle. I'm sure it looks much better in the book. It's not in color. They're not in color. They're not,
It looks like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think that probably reading it on the Kindle, the pictures are not, the Kindle doesn't do the pictures justice, for sure.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. I had to yell about Wi-Fi. I feel like he's using my Wi-Fi. I feel like I'm freezing and glitching.
No, you're not. You're good.
No, you're not freezing.
Are we freezing for you?
All right. Yeah, it's like, it's weird because usually
is it jumping around? Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I thought that was just me.
No, I'm fine. Like my Wi-Fi is good.
See.
For me, it's good for both of you.
Yeah, I mean, I could see her jumping, like getting a little bit. What's he trying to put on?
No.
Okay.
Well, his heater.
No, I thought he was using.
Because
it's doggy
cold.
or
No, Joe.
Is it cold there?
It's cold in here. I got my sweater on. We didn't turn the heat on today yet. So blankets and heaters. Heaters.
I love cozy seasons. Hopefully, we'll get some nice snowfall this winter.
Oh, you guys get all the good snow up there. We get all the crappy snow down here.
I know you probably got get the wet snow stuff. Huh?
Yeah. We don't ever get we get one or two good snowstorms a year. And that's it.
We're still 80 degrees.
No, we're
still.
I know. I hear in Cali right now. It's like in the mornings. I saw a meme. It was like Cali in the morning is winter, spring in the afternoon, summer and dawn, and then fall. It's just all over the place.
Yes, but in the afternoon it was it got up to 70, 75 today. It may have gotten a little hotter today.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Not here. So you guys are already giving good feedback, I think, if you were an editor, which is the next question. For me, if I were an editor, I would definitely say need more backstory. Who am I to criticize, right? And I went to see when he wrote The Archer, what he was kind of trying to go for. And he was I was trying to go for simplicity because we overcomplicate things in life. And so it's meant to be very short, which is okay, that I get it. As an author, you have that creative freedom. And I think it's for its purpose and simplicity, it does a great job. So I guess whatever intention you have going into the book, if you're looking for a story, this is not it. If you're looking for just something like Sun Tzu, Art of War, because I have that book. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Sun Tzu, Art of War, which is a very short book, but I felt like that one was a lot more longer. It was much longer. It had a storyline that you followed, whereas this one was just kind of direction. So I don't think I would put it in the class of all of his other books, which The Alchemist, which are more allegorical or more storyline driven. It definitely was from anything that I've read from him out of his typical reach. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I would have liked a little bit more. It just felt like it was it felt it was like we were saying, it lacked a storyline really, and I just wanted a little bit more meat to the story.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I
I
got
would
my
say the
charger. It
same
looks like my
thing.
phone is about.
To me it felt more like a, even when he's going in and he's, describing what, the bow and the arrow and, all the different like little chapters it had, it just felt very much like an outline, like a
Mhm.
summary.
Right.
Like none of those sections went
Yeah.
into very much detail. It felt very much just like a synopsis or
Right.
so, but I mean,
Yeah.
for what it is, I mean, it is an inspirational, or
Hmm.
story. I mean, it is
There are a lot of good
just a,
quotes in
yeah,
here.
it had a lot of
Yes.
good quotes, a lot of good quotes.
Yeah.
But as far as like, if you're looking for something that's more of a story, this is definitely not the book for
Right.
that. Yeah.
Completely. I did. So, like what you
Oh,
had said, Monique, or both of you actually, there were some good things that I know that I could take from it. So, my
Hmm.
favorite, like, I had to judge what my favorite part about this book was, which chapter or part of the bow and arrow that I highlighted the most.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
So, for yeah, so for me, that one was how to observe the flight of the arrow. That was my favorite like section of the book, and mostly because in his imagery and stuff like that, he talks about in how to observe the flight of the bow. Once you release, now you just kind of can't wait and worry. You have to think everything you did up to that point was everything you needed to um, hit your target, miss your target, have whatever. Like you have to be confident that um, once you release the bow, that you did and had all the practice. So that was my favorite. Just sort of
Mhm.
observe, and then what he said was, um, once the arrow has been shot, there is nothing more the archer can do except follow its path to the target, and that's just so true. Like I know I'm someone that once I do something, I'm almost like I want to wait. How did it go? So that was
Right.
probably my favorite.
Let me see. Well, I'll look and see what I have tabbed up the most. It's probably the beginning. I think it's allies, honestly.
Yeah, I have a few in the
Mm.
allies.
But my favorite, my favorite quote, I think, is in allies. Yeah, it's on page 21 when it says, "Join with all those who experiment, take risks, fail, get hurt, and then take more risks. Stay away from those who affirm truths,
Yes,
who
we
criticize."
all
That
marked
whole thing, the whole paragraph. It's
Yeah.
all marked
That's
Yep.
it.
my favorite part of the whole book.
That's why I
Yeah,
laughed. As soon as she started reading, I'm like, hey, that's the same one I marked.
yeah. That's probably like the first one that I was like, oh, tab that. So
Because
yeah, like
what's
there's a few
crazy?
more.
Like I don't even. Yeah. Like I don't. I don't think about the word allies as much as like I should. Like it's so true in life. You need your allies. You
Yeah,
need those people around you who you can. It's so important.
yeah. I relate a lot of the stuff back to like work because right now like that's like the like I have no life. Like literally my life is work and home reading with Joe. So a lot of these self-help books I associate with work. And again, I'll say
Hmm.
I have my support system at work, and I swear like I would not be able to get through the day without my allies, and they literally are there to support. We're there to support each other, and that's like
Hmm.
when I read that, I was like, "Yep, I can agree with that."
There were two other
Okay.
quotes in the allies ones that I, under that section that I highlighted too. I don't have page numbers. I in the Kindle it gives me
Okay.
education numbers, but one was your allies will not necessarily be the kind of dazzling people to whom everyone looks up to, and whom they say there's none better. On the contrary, they are the people who are not afraid of making mistakes and who are therefore make mistakes, which is why their work often goes unrecognized.
That's page 18, by the way.
Oh, and then
Yeah.
the other one that I highlighted under that section too is join with all those who experiment, take risks, fall, get hurt, and then take more risks. They stay away from those who affirm truths, who criticize those who do not think like them, people who have never once taken a step unless they were sure they would be respected for doing so, and who prefer certainties to doubts. Those were the three that I liked from the allies section.
Yeah. No, I like that. It made me think of in the beginning, in the prologue, the man who, who when the little boy was talking about finding Tetsuya, he was like, oh, I want to go, find him and see who this guy is. Like, he wanted to challenge him. And then he did, when the little boy was like, you showed him, because, he's like, well, you shot the cherry, I shot the peach. He's like, now shoot the peach. And then that's when he was kind of like, well, look, you had all this practice shooting this one that you can always shoot, but what could you do outside of your comfort zone?
Right.
That's kind of how I feel like that passage related to that.
Yes.
Basically, when
that's
stuff gets serious and when like shit hits the fan,
right?
How are you going to react?
Yes.
You can't handle it unless you're under the under the like the perfect conditions.
Yep.
Yes. So what did you guys think of his writing style? I thought, like we already talked about, I feel like I liked his writing style. It was short to the point, and I actually think it kind of had like a poetic undertone to it. And so for that, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Me too.
I agree. I liked it. It kind of reminded me of like Greek mythology. I don't know why, but when I was reading it, I was kind of like getting like a Greek mythology vibe from it. I don't know why, but that's what it felt like to me. But I liked it. It was very easy to read and digest.
I'm gonna have a whole different turn. As I was reading it, what I was thinking, I know I always equate everything to a movie, right?
There we go.
Do that.
Let's hear it.
Like, this is the Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off.
Yeah, I told Joe that.
Yes.
I told Joe that. I said, because it's the ending. Yeah. The end. So I was telling Joe like it's all like lessons on how to like put little pieces together. I literally told him, I was like, wax on, wax off, paint the fence. And then at the end he says, forget everything I told you. You don't need any of that to be great or whatever. Like,
I mean, it's along those same lines, right? Because it's taking a sport and applying it to, because he taught him through, karate, how he needs to get a balance in his life, right? That whole message of having the balance and so it's kind of the same. It is kind of the same concept. It was just done more in a story-like setting in Karate Kid.
Yeah, I think that's also what made it fun. It took me probably I think I got through this book in an hour, if that. It was that quick.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it is a quick read for that, and for it being such a quick read. I think it's good. Yeah. Because
it's honestly, I feel like I can set it like right next to my book, like Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, or it's like a reference book. When the chips are down, pick up the Archer. What part of life are you in right now? Okay, I'm on this stream. What do I do? I feel like that's kind of how it reads. So, since I guess there was really no main character, I would reframe this question. I think so. Do you feel like you've been? Because I think this had like a mentor-mentee kind of vibe. Like Tetsuya was the mentor and the boy was the mentee. A few of Monique, you and I are like in different are in the same age range or age stage in our life, and Diana, you're a little bit older than us. So like, have you found yourself more so falling into like role of mentor versus mentee? I feel like I'm still in the mentee stage. Like, I'm still absorbing so much. Like, I'm not ready to pass on all my lessons yet. I'm still growing my roots. being
I don't.
watered.
I looked at it in two different ways, right? Because at work, I feel like I've been both, right? When you first start out, you're the mentee, and then now I feel like I'm more of a mentor, right? In work and in life, it's the same way. I mean, you start out as the mentee, right, with my mom mentoring me, and then me mentoring my girls. And so it's like a trickle down. So I feel like I've been both in both you know, in at work and in, you know, in home life, in personal life. So
I think for me, I think I'm still both because I'm at a mid-level where like I'm in leadership, so I lead my staff and I direct them to, you know, what they need to do to get their job done. And then again, I still have my mentor that I go to and try to, you know, gain new what's the word I'm looking for?
Wisdom or
Yeah,
knowledge,
yeah.
maybe.
New knowledge on how to like, you know, grow as like a professional and grow into the type of leader that I want to be. So I think that I'm still doing both. So what I'm learning,
it's interesting
trickles
too that
down.
yeah. And that's one of the things I think that's interesting about that. Like, I feel like this being like an older millennial, we are now on that. I mean, more often than not, like we're starting to transition to being like to giving a little bit more advice. And that's like new to me. I'm like, wow, I have to be responsible in things I say, things I do, because like we're entering that range where we should be able to be looked up to. And I know when I was in the supervisor role, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, these, you know, the ones who are coming in, the younger generation, a lot of them were, you know, 18, younger. They're watching. I'm like, wow, am I really that far from 18 now to where it's like I have life experience that I could pass on?
Yeah.
Just read The Archer. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
just
that's
read.
all. Start handing it out.
Really though.
Seriously.
You know? So I like this next question because I think again, like this book was kind of like a guidebook. So how or where could you apply some of the wisdom offered in this book? So I know right now, like it's kind of back to the my favorite chapter, how to observe the flight of the arrow. I feel like I've done everything I can up until this point. You know, like as far as like career might go, and as far as like professional certifications and fit, like just everything I've done up until this point. Like you can only hustle for so long, to where it's just like you have to just be patient and see where it gets you. And so I feel like I could apply the knowledge of how to observe the flight of the arrow right now.
Yeah. I think I like the repetition part of it because, you know, you're only as good as the amount of time that you practice at your craft, and to hone your skills, you have to kind of like repeat. So you're not going to become a master right away. Like it takes time, it takes effort, it takes courage. So I think that's where I would apply it. It's to the repetition part, like hone your skills, continue to learn and to grow and to master your craft. Like you're never too great to learn or to better yourself.
Such a Capricorn answer.
That's me. It's me. It's me. It is. No, it really is. It really is. But it's the truth.
It is the truth.
Let's see. I just wrote like a couple of bullet points for this. You know, I just wrote that the you know the book's underlying framework was, you know, have good work ethic. You know, work hard with passion, have willingness to fail, and the urgency and the need to make a difference. And then in life, to take risks, have faith in your abilities, and stay calm in the worst situations. that's mostly for me because I don't stay calm and I have a problem staying calm in the worst situations. Monique will tell you.
Yep,
So,
her and Jasmine.
Looking at all that, where it says how, there was a quote that stood out to me too in how you look at your target, where it said, use your bad moments to discover what makes you tremble. Use your good moments to find your road to inner peace, but don't stop either out of fear or out of joy. The way of the bow has no end. So it's like you should be always continuing. You should never be like complacent, basically. So in your joy or your fear. So that's what they were, one of his messages there in that. So but
I loved it. I love that. That's good. I love that there was so much to take from it. It was really like it's like one of those that you just come back to. And like you said, the book of Proverbs, Monique, was that the one, or Psalms? Which one?
Yeah. Proverbs.
Yeah, it's like I like it for that. It's simplicity and easy reference. So now that you've read, have either of you read a book from Paulo Coelho before?
No.
I have The Alchemist, and I've had it on my shelf for like forever. Like, I haven't read it, but now I will. So.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say, like, I've read The Alchemist before, and that was, to me, like, much better work than this. So if you haven't read one, I would say this is not at all like the baseline of, I don't want to say like his structure of writing will remain similar, but most of his books again are not so short. Like, they're much longer. I loved The Alchemist for that.
Yeah, he has a lot.
Yeah, I didn't realize he had so many books.
I didn't realize either. Yeah, I just know of The Alchemist.
Yeah, that's the only one I had heard of too, and that's the one that you see the most. But I haven't read it either, but I do have it on my TBR. It's been there for a while.
Will this motivate you to read it?
I know. We should have.
It will. Is it a faster? Is it a fast read like this? Like, can I read it in one sitting?
No, it's a little bit more to digest than this for sure.
Okay.
It's cute too. I thought The Alchemist was a really cute story. It's a feel good.
I don't know why I keep thinking like The Alchemist kind of reads like Don Quixote. I don't know why, because I read Don Quixote like in high school, but I don't know why every time I think of The Alchemist, I think of Don Quixote, and I think that's why I haven't read it yet. I don't even know if they're similar at all. I really have no idea.
You'll find out.
Yeah.
I will.
For anyone who is interested, I guess, in reading The Alchemist, collectively we're giving it about like 3 to 4 stars. Great book, just lacking in, I guess, not content. The wisdom and such is good, but just the story, just not quite a story, more of a nice little guidebook.
We wanted it to be a story.
But now we'll go into what we're going to talk about next time. So what are we reading for our horror books?
Lord knows that, my horror experience, I'm not terrified like I want to be terrified. These books are not doing it for me, so I don't know.
They're not terrifying you? What?
No. I read 2 so far. What'd I read? Hold on.
Well, while you're figuring it out, did you already pick them up?
Yeah, I read the Book of Accidents and the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires.
Okay. I saw that on your Goodreads.
Yeah. So they were good. They were okay. But I'm not scared, and I want to be scared. So I think I'm gonna pick up something. I don't know what I'm gonna pick up yet. I'm not currently reading anything.
Well, I'll tell you. I won't tell you about Home Before. I'll give you a little.
Did it scare you? Because I will pick it up.
So this is what's going on in this place. So one day we swore we saw a shadow in here. We swore we saw a shadow. And this is not for I swear this is not because it's Halloween. Like, it was a crazy night. Don't know what's going on. I am pretty, like, I think I'm pretty got my head on straight. But I looked and I was like, what is that? And I had been reading, I'm reading Home Before Dark. Yeah, Home Before Dark, which is up here. I think you could see it maybe. And anywho, I was so scared that I had to put the book down. I was like, I can't continue to read this book right now because the book talks about like scary paranormal type things going on. So I'm like kind of scared to read that after I saw that shadow.
Mom, you read
And
Home Before Dark, right?
I haven't read. I just
Oh.
ordered it from Book of the Month, so I'm hoping that it gets
Wait.
here.
So what other Riley Sager book did you read then?
I have only read The Last Time,
The Last Time I Lied. Okay.
The Last Time I Lied. I have Lock Every Door. I haven't read it yet, and I just ordered Home Before Dark. But yeah, I haven't read it yet.
Maybe I'll start Home Before Dark because I want to be scared, and I'm not scared.
Well, so do you know it's kind of based? So
I know it. Yeah.
You know about the based on a true story thing? Okay.
I
had to Google the place too because I was like, oh.
It's kind of like Amityville Horror-ish.
Amityville Horror type-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's got me all freaked out. So it's good because it feels real. I mean, and I'm seeing ghosts, so
there you go. It's working. It's working. It's giving you all the vibes. It's giving you all the vibes and all the feels.
Oh my God.
What are you reading, Mom?
Right now I'm reading the Book of Accidents. I'm only like 100 pages in it. I'm really liking it.
I liked it, but it wasn't scary for me.
I don't know that I am scared yet, but I won't listen to it when I'm walking the dog. So, I like to listen, like to some of these books. I like to listen to and read physically at the same time. And sometimes as I'm walking the dog, I'll listen to a chapter or whatever. But that one I won't listen to while I'm walking the dog. It's just a little bit too creepy in some spots. I read the Southern
The Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires.
Guide to Vampires. It was I mean, it wasn't scary to me. It was more gory. So yeah, it was okay. It was okay for me. I didn't. It wouldn't be one that if somebody was looking for a thriller or even a good vampire, I don't know that I would recommend it even as a good vampire novel. No. I wasn't a fan of it.
It was, and even the vampire aspect of it. Was he a vampire? Like, he was just a weird creature. To me, at least, vampires are cute, and he was not.
That's not all. Dracula's not cute.
I thought the vampire. I'm watching like Queen of the Damned type movies.
Yes, thank you. Lestat, the vampire Lestat is amazing.
It's beautiful, man.
Right. And then
are you guys watching horror? Huh?
I did read. It's more of a thriller. The Colleen Hoover book, Verity.
Oh, Verity.
That one I really liked. But it's more of a thriller, a psychological thriller, not really a horror book. So I'm hoping that this House of Accidents delivers for me as a horror book, but Monique didn't like it. It does have that horror. It does have that paranormal though kind of aspect.
Yes.
So it does have a paranormal aspect in there though. So at least it does. Hopefully for that. And my fun like little romantic Halloween one that I want to share on our next call, because I'm gonna read like the X-Hex, which is more like
that looks cute. I've been seeing that everywhere.
Yeah. So that's the one that I'm gonna read for our call, because so that I have something different than the actual like horror scary. Yeah.
It looks fun. I've been seeing pictures of it everywhere, and I'm like, that seems fun.
Yeah. So I'm kind of mad that I didn't pick that one up instead of, which one did I pick up? I picked up the thriller for that month.
Because that was a Book of the Month one?
Yeah.
So I did Everything we don't say. That's the one I got.
Mm. Well, I'm excited to see what you guys talk about for that. Monique, you got to find a real scary one.
I know.
Home Before Dark is pretty scary.
Yeah, I really want to read Home Before Dark, but I don't think I'll get it in time to read it for the call.
Yeah.
No, you won't. You got it for you're putting it on for your November?
No, I got a second subscription to Book of the Month.
Oh,
so
mother.
Under
Oh,
Johnny's
mother.
name. So it's coming in his box. I'm waiting, and his box is behind my box, right? My box already came at the beginning of the month. His should probably be here within, closer to the, Monday or Tuesday of this week. But, the Book of Accidents is like thick.
Oh yeah, Book of Accidents is a chunker.
So I doubt that. I'm hoping just to finish that one and the X Hex before our next call. So I won't get to home. And plus, Emerald was going to talk about Home Before Dark. So
that's why I'm like, do I want to read
wait
it or do I want to read something else?
Yeah.
That way we bring in something different to the table.
Because I don't want to spoil it. You know me, I spoil everything. So I feel like I talk about it. I just have like spoiler alert on the website. You're probably gonna get spoiled if you watch.
That's okay.
It's so
good. That's the point of these things, actually.
Really, you know what I like so about the book too. I don't want to like go, but just in case you're interested in reading it, I like that it jumps between her story and her father's story.
Isn't it like a book within a book? Because isn't the father's story being told through a book that he wrote?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So that's a unique, like,
yes,
that you find out what her experience is going to be because they jump into his story, so it works out well.
Okay. So from what I can remember, the premise of Home Before Dark is the woman, the girl, I don't even know what her name is. She goes back. Her father dies, I think, and she goes back to her childhood home that they used to live in. He left it to her, and he wrote a book about it being haunted. So as she's in the house, she reads his book, and it goes back and forth between his book and what she's experiencing. And some of the things are.
Man, I wish I would have known that ahead of time. I would have ordered that book a while ago to have it for. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I'm not.
It's been. I've had it on my shelf. It's probably like the second or third book of the month box that I got that one in, and I was like, I'm waiting until October to read it. So I probably will get to it this month.
So I'm hoping it comes. I might not get to it by our call, but I'll get to it really close to or right at the beginning of November.
Yeah.
So
I think I see a ghost.
Stop. Just kidding. Meanwhile, all the lights are on in this damn house.
Do you remember playing Midnight? What? Remember the game we played Midnight when we were kids?
Which is, tell me what it was.
It was like a board game, and you had to put the VHS into the put the VHS in, and it was the Midnight game, and the guy would come on the screen, and he would be like, it was like creepy. You don't remember?
Yes, I remember.
Do you remember?
No, I remember. Yes.
I feel like that since it's a vintage game, it goes for like I think hundreds of dollars now. I wish I had that. It was one of the scariest games ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a moment of nostalgia. Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in, everyone, and we will see you in 2 weeks to talk about our horror picks.
Yes.
All right, you guys.
All right.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.